The two great Greek city-states, Athens and Sparta, were not merely neighboring polis but entirely distinct worlds, each with its unique destiny and philosophy of existence. A deep dive into their structures reveals striking contrasts that shaped the course of ancient history. Let's begin with their geographical positions and how they influenced their military might. Athens, situated close to the sea, was destined to develop into a formidable naval power. Its armed forces, a mighty fleet, sailed the waves, ensuring dominion over the seas and opening avenues for trade and expansion. Sparta, conversely, nestled deep inland, was compelled to rely on a different strength. Its military machine was an invincible land army, whose phalanxes struck terror into opponents, asserting its dominance on land. Each of these polis was under the patronage of a specific deity, further emphasizing their profound differences. For Athens, the patron was the wise and warlike Athena, a goddess whose name became synonymous with strategic thinking and cultural prosperity. Sparta, however, was under the watchful eye of Ares, the formidable god of war, whose presence reflected its ruthless and uncompromising military doctrine. The diversity of occupations in these cities also spoke volumes. Athens was a hub of intellectual and creative life. Skilled artisans, inspired poets, and profound philosophers flourished here, their ideas shaping Western civilization. Sparta, in contrast, was a society where almost every citizen was, first and foremost, a warrior. While artisans did exist, their labor was exclusively subservient to the needs of the army and the maintenance of an austere military lifestyle. Athens' economic model was intrinsically linked to its maritime location. The city prospered through active trade, becoming one of the Mediterranean's key commercial hubs. At the heart of Athens was the bustling agora, not just a marketplace, but a pulsating center of public life where deals were struck and ideas exchanged. For convenience, Athenians used standardized and practical coins for transactions. Sparta, isolated from the sea, built its economy on agriculture and regular conquests, replenishing its resources from subjugated territories. Notably, their currency consisted of cumbersome iron bars, a deliberate choice intended to discourage the accumulation of wealth and luxury. The political systems of these states also represented diametrically opposed structures. Athens prided itself on its democracy, where citizens held voting rights and directly participated in lawmaking, forming a unique precedent of self-governance. In Sparta, an oligarchy ruled. Power belonged to a limited circle of chosen individuals, known as the Council of Elders, ensuring a strict hierarchy and conservative governance. Finally, it's worth noting the position of women, which was remarkably different in these two cities. In Athens, women had very limited rights. They did not participate in political life, their role primarily confined to household management and child-rearing, remaining largely in the shadows of public life. However, in Sparta, the situation was starkly different. Spartan women enjoyed significantly more rights. They could own land, engage in certain occupations, and were expected to be physically strong and resilient, capable of defending their homeland if necessary. The condition of slaves in Athens was more humane compared to Sparta, with some even given the opportunity to learn various crafts. In Sparta, however, slaves, while possessing certain, albeit limited, rights, were predominantly subjected to extremely harsh and cruel treatment, explained by their status as prisoners of war captured during conflicts. The Athenian education system aimed primarily at fostering virtuous and responsible citizens of the polis. Education was exclusively for boys, and only upon reaching 18 years of age did they begin military training. In contrast, military training in Sparta began as early as age 7. The Spartan education system encompassed both boys and girls, aiming to cultivate in them unyielding spirit, physical endurance, and courage, shaping them into exemplary warriors. These profound differences in every aspect of life, from geography and religion to economy and social structure, determined not only their internal development but also their interactions on the ancient Greek stage, forever inscribing their names in the annals of history. In conclusion, Athens emerged as a relatively peaceful city-state, where trade flourished and democratic principles were established. Sparta, on the other hand, represented a militarized society, whose primary objective was the conquest and subjugation of enemies, governed by an oligarchic regime and relying on a powerful and disciplined army.